Hello everyone, my name is Rene and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I would like to share my first semester experience for the year 2023 as compared to my first year experience. I am a second year student at Stellenbosch University and it is currently mid-year recess. This is thus far the longest recess I've had. This is my 6th week at home, and in total I think it is almost 8 weeks. My last exam was on the 2nd of June and I left for home on the 5th of June. But I will be heading to Stellenbosch in about a week's time. I am super excited. So I had it rough my first year. There is nothing that could have prepared me for my first year. Literally nothing in this world. But I'm confident to say that my first semester this year, there was a lot of improvements. I would like to share with you guys these 3 main points: familiarity, time management, planning, and preparation. My first year was a little bit difficult because I did a lot of familiarizing, adapting, adjusting, and just tackling the idea of being a student. So it was not an easy road. Although my first year was a success, it took a lot of time. So my first semester, the one improvement that I've made is to familiarize myself with the idea of being a student. This is to say, do exactly what is expected from you. If there's a due date, you need to make sure that you meet the deadline. Unlike last year for me, it was my mental health comes first. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to meet the deadline. I'll just explain myself to someone. But honestly speaking, you can't explain yourself to anyone. You either have a valid reason or you will face the consequences. So I did not know that last year, but now I'm like, okay, I need to meet the deadline because I will face the consequences. No one wants to hear any excuse, explanation without a valid reason. So you either meet the deadline. And to be honest, I've also realized this year that there is no excuse of not meeting a deadline because you do have the module framework, which I had no knowledge about last year. You do receive a module framework with all the important dates. So familiarizing yourself with the module framework is also super important, and it helps you to prepare yourself for the semester and to not miss important dates. Saying that you have an explanation to do, well, you will face the consequences. So that is one thing that I wasn't familiar with as a student last year. It did cost me my marks. It did cost me my experience. As a student in a specific university, there is a student website that you need to utilize. That took me about the whole of first term in first year to just adjust and utilize in the right way. But in my first semester this year, it was super easy. It was just like water under the bridge. So with all that familiarizing in my first year, it helped me so much to pave through my academic year this year. If something is new to you, if something is just different, it takes time to adjust. It takes time to familiarize yourself with it, and which makes things even more difficult. So I feel like that is the one reason why first year was more difficult than my first semester this year. This year was so smooth. You can't really be 100% familiar with everything that's expected from you, but the mere fact that you know something, you know how to utilize the student website, you know that you will face consequences, you are able to distinguish between a lecturer, a professor, and a supervisor, and a tutor. That's a start. It helps you just pave your way through. The second key point that I would like to discuss today is time management. There was a whole lot of improvement this year. A lot, but I'm not 100% happy with it. As compared to last year, it is an improvement. Last year, time management was almost, I was bad at it. I couldn't manage my time. I couldn't manage my time. For instance, there are times where I didn't sleep for 3 days straight, a week straight, just so I can finish my work or study for the next test. It was bad. I can't even explain it. So that for me was difficult. I couldn't manage my time. There are times where I couldn't even wake up to go to class because I spent 3 days, the whole weekend, trying to meet a deadline without sleeping. So this year I did a whole lot of napping. I made sure that I sleep before I go to class. I don't remember spending a week straight without sleeping. I mark my dates, the important dates, I mark them down, and that helped me a lot with time management. So using the module framework was very important, which helped me to just spot down the important dates and to prepare ahead. I will not start a week assignment in a day, which I did last year. There were days where a whole assignment, which was supposed to be done in the period of 3 months, and I did it in about a week, and that is why I couldn't even sleep that week. So that is one improvement that I'm super proud of as a second year student, is time management. It was very difficult in first year because you will get an assignment, you will be tipped to do the assignment each day of class, but you're just like, oh well, I'll see it at the end of the course. And that was bad, that was toxic, and I did not enjoy my time in first year. Time management was very difficult. I didn't even know where to start. But the starting point is using the module framework. Use the module framework, check your dates, and use that. That's one improvement I've made. And the last 2 key points is planning and preparation. This year I did a lot of planning, a lot of preparation. And do you see this big smile? It moved me from an average mark to a really good mark. I'm talking excellent mark. Super proud of that. When you plan ahead, it gives you more time to engage with the work, know exactly what's expected from you, and to not just learn to pass, but to learn. So last year I had little room for planning, almost no room, little to no room of planning and preparation. If I had a test tomorrow, and sometimes thing is I would only know maybe 2 days before the test that I had the test, also because people are talking about it, like, oh my goodness, we have a test tomorrow. I'm like, we have a test tomorrow. You see, so using the module framework is super effective. So this year I would prepare maybe like 2 weeks before the test day or before the assignment is due, which was super effective. I would spend those 2 weeks going through the work, not studying. I normally just study 2 days before the test, but like the preparation starts with engaging with the work, looking into it, and just knowing exactly what's expected by going through the module framework. So planning and preparation was my number 1. This year I did a lot of planning and preparation. This includes going to class. Going to class is part of planning, because when you engage with the content in class, it helps you to just know exactly what is expected from you, because some things are said in class and not in the module framework, something similar to that, or things may even change. Engaging with the work, knowing the due dates before the course even starts. That's very important. And it helped me quite a lot. There's a lot of improvements that I've made in my first semester. There was a lot of improvement, and not only do I feel the changes and the improvement, I've seen it. I've seen the rewards. It is very rewarding. Honestly, it was very rewarding. Last year, it was a matter of, it was difficult. If something is new, you learn, you adapt, and of course, I'm looking forward to more improvements to ace everything, but thus far, I'm very pleased with the improvements that I've made. The idea of this video is to just share with you guys that it is a process. It doesn't just happen. It starts small, and as time goes by, you adapt, you adjust, and it works out. Most especially if you're studying something that you really like, you're passionate about, or you're just interested in, so it just comes natural. I would like to believe that it differs from person to person, but it starts slow. It won't just speed up. I've learned so much in my first year, and that is why I am super excited about this year. It is still challenging, but it looks promising. It's smooth. It's a smooth ride. It has its bumps, difficulties, but it's a smooth ride because I've went through every difficulty in my first year. With that being said, I don't know if my message had come across the way I wanted it to, but I just wanted to share my first year experience. Was a little bit difficult because there's a lot of things that I needed to be familiar with, a lot of things that I needed to learn in order to manage my time, a lot of things that I needed to learn in order to plan and prepare ahead. And with those 3 points, I believe my first semester this year was super successful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you do like my content, don't forget to follow me on Instagram for personal or social reasons, and bye.